All right. Another beautiful day for construction. So just wanted to give you guys another brief update. So last time you seen the property, we cleared the land. We were installing the electrical boxes, the temporary electrical, and now we have begun ground plumbing. So one of the things that goes on is, like I said in the last video, once we set up forms, we clear land, we'll set up forms, which will be the general shape and the foundation of the house. And once that's set up and inspected, inspections are good, make sure all the dimensions are right, then the ground plumbers will come out and they'll start doing the plumbing that goes under the ground. All of this plumbing is what carries your sewage and water, wastewater out of the house into the sewer, as well as fresh, clean water into the house. So once that's done, you'll see where we'll have pipes sticking up out of the ground. Some of those pipes will be vent pipes, which are vent lines. Some of them will be drain lines, and some of them will be toilet lines. All right, let's take a look. All right, as you can see, we are out here doing ground plumbing. All of these guys are out here digging trenches and putting in plumbing per the drawings. So you'll see there's a machine out here. This excavator, this mini excavator, is what they use to start digging trenches, as well as digging by hand. So that mini excavator will be used. Once the plans are used, you'll see there's a gentleman in the back looking at the plans right now, going through plans, making sure that they install all of the drainage in the proper locations. Mini excavator. We'll get in here and take a closer look. This is some of the messier part. You'll see this is your main trench. This trench right here looks like it would be your main sewer carryout. These guys are doing a really good job. So as we walk up a little closer, you'll see these guys are taking measurements. They're measuring based on the plans on where some of the shower drains and different things should go. So they're using that to take measurements and pull measurements off. So as I described earlier, you'll see there are pipes that's sticking up out of the ground. So one of the pipes, you'll see that there are a series of pipes. This particular pipe is a 2-inch PVC. This 2-inch PVC is a vent line. That vent line is what, when you look at a lot of houses and you see pipes sticking up out of the ceiling, we'll just do a quick pan, but as you can see, like this house, for instance, those lines that are coming up out of the ceiling, some of those are what's called vent lines. Those vent lines allow you to have air inside of the plumbing so that it flows properly. Without those lines, you won't get proper airflow into your plumbing to allow it to drain properly. So that's why you get sometimes slow draining tubs or toilets that don't flush properly, because they don't have vent lines that are properly installed. The vent lines could be clogged, but those vent lines are what allow air to get into the plumbing so that toilets flush properly and sinks and tubs drain properly. You come over here, you can see there's a series of drains and vent lines that's coming up here. So as we look, we'll see some of these are actual drains, potential tub drains. If we look at the drawings, you'll see that some of these are tub drains. But one good one to look at right here, this is a toilet. So this is what a toilet looks like inside the foundation. You'll see that there's a connection that the bowl sits on, that little trap right there that the toilet sits on. And then there's a vent line. That vent line, again, allows air to get into the lines behind the toilet. So if you see, you look at this drain actually comes down, and then there's a swoop right in the middle. That swoop in the middle directs the fluid waste down into the sewer line, where it's carried out of the house, right, into the main sewer for the house. So again, this is what your toilets look like when your foundation is being prepared. Come over here, we can see that there's another toilet, right? Some more vent lines. We'll also see here shortly, as these guys finish, they'll have locations that are for tubs. So a lot of those locations that are for tubs will have these black pots around them. You see some of the black pots that are sitting back there look like flower pots. But those black pots that they put around the tub locations, those pots allow you to come back, and when it's time to install the tub, it gives you a range of play. So those pots are installed, and then we pour the concrete, and that gives us a void around that pipe to be able to come back and make any necessary changes as needed. So one of the interesting things that you'll see about this form is that this is actually the front of the house. So as we stand here and you look at the front of the house, you'll see you can kind of picture the layout of the plumbing and bathrooms and toilets. So those things give you an idea of bringing to life some of the dreams that these homeowners have drawn on paper that they want to see. All right, as you can see, these guys have finished installing all of the plumbing, the ground plumbing fixtures. So we're standing inside of the foundation, and as we stand inside of the foundation, you will come back around and you'll see one of the pipes that I was showing you that was the toilet. And so with this toilet, you'll see that we have the 3-inch line that the toilet would actually boat to, and then we have the vent line. And then from that vent line, remember, it goes over into the main drain, and that main drain has another vent line on it. That vent line that's here goes over to what would be a shower or a bathtub. So remember, one of the things that I talked about yesterday is that when we do showers and tubs, we actually put sometimes a black plastic bucket around it, and in this case we use styrofoam. What that does is, you'll see a little bit later, once the concrete and the foundation is actually poured, that gives a void around the plumbing so that it can be adjusted so that the tubs can go into the proper spots. So anytime you see those, that is to give you just a void around that plumbing, because it gives you that much wiggle room to be able to move that around. And so if we go in and look, you'll see ground plumbing's in. We've got several bathrooms and toilets. One of the things that we'll also be adding to this is the electricians will have to come out and install ground plugs. So we'll be putting those ground plugs in. Those ground plugs definitely have to go in before the foundation is poured. And then we'll also see the foundation coming by putting in footers. And so they'll come by and start digging the footers that support the house. And so you'll see pictures of those. You'll see, I'll catch those on video as they come through, and that'll give you an idea of what that looks like as we pour the concrete foundation. The foundation crew is out here and they're digging footers. So you ask, what are footers? So what they're doing is actually coming in and digging out voids or columns inside of the foundation, so that once this whole thing is dug up, according to engineering specs, this whole section will have these little trenches that are dug up. And inside those little trenches, each one of them will all be, this whole area will be lined with a plastic, which is a waterproof. Once this whole area is covered with plastic and waterproofing, when they pour the concrete will flow into all of these low areas, which will be all of the piers and footers that you have for your house. All right. So what you see is they're digging all of the footers out. See all of the ground plumbing sticking up. Next time you'll see this, we'll have all of the footers in and the waterproofing membrane will be down, and we'll be getting ready to pour concrete.